near-death experience stories, but then you have like an AI interpret like what they're seeing and what they're saying.
Oh my goodness. Austin, how are you, man?
Doing good, man.
So, how can I help you?
All right, so I have been aware of the automation game for a while, and I tried it for a little while back then. I tried a gossip channel, and it was of all like the TikTokers that were bigger back then, like the Charlie D'Amelio, like that whole crew, and it was just like, what's the gossip going on? And I found a couple channels where they had maybe 15,000 subscribers, but the views they were getting were absurd. It's like, okay, it's a hot niche. And then as I got into it, I was like, this isn't fun. Like, I didn't enjoy doing the research. I didn't enjoy trying to figure out, making a thumbnail. And the idea of spending anywhere from $50 to $100 outsourcing it, I was like, nah, this is too much money going out before anyone is going to come in. I know it's a long game. Look at a YouTube channel called Solar Prophet. AI software to create images to then go with lyrics of songs. And they're blown up. Basically making like an AI version of a music video. But the idea of using AI images as your visual instead of the stereotypical kind of B-roll is interesting. Based on your experience, like I've got ideas of niches that could do well just by themselves. And then I've got ideas of niches that would set yourself up better for affiliate marketing. And then like some combo of those. What are your thoughts?
What are your ideas for niches?
Golf is potentially one. Anime, I'm into anime, and those videos do pretty well, but it's pretty saturated.
Have you done any videos, by the way? Have you created any videos? Like
back about like a year or two ago, I made a few of those gossip videos.
Oh yeah, gossip videos, yeah. But you're not into gossip yourself, are you?
No. But I'm not necessarily tied to one of these things where like I have to make a video channel that is based on an interest of mine.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm perfectly fine with just researching a topic and figuring it out and then going from there.
Do you know a channel called Charisma on Command?
Yeah.
Man, I love that channel.
Oh yeah. Those are cool dudes. I used to watch their podcast a good bit.
I really like the channel you showed me, the Solar Prophet, and what he's doing with the song. And with the whole AI generating images from text. One of my friends also sent me that, and I was like, it was super cool. So there's definitely something there to it. In terms of the copyrighted music, I sent you a name, Hayden Hillier-Smith. He is an editor for Logan Paul. He promotes a website where you can pay a subscription or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but basically you can use copyrighted music. You could use copyrighted music. You could check what they have to offer, then use that software and generate the exact same thing like Solar Prophet. Could work. I don't know. Never tried that, but seems like a pretty cool idea, especially super new. Now, going to Pictory and in video and just kind of having AI write the script, having software put like a slideshow video presentation together, whatever. Man, like, would you watch that video yourself?
No.
That's what I say. Like, I was doing these videos on like this channel of mine, and I would never watch a video like that. So then the question is, if you would never do that, why would you want to give that to someone else? You know how the saying goes, treat others like you would like them to treat you. Like, it's like it applies the same thing to content and making videos. Kind of. Obviously there is a market for many things, right? You don't need to be necessarily into something. There are so many different audiences and interests in. But you are creating a channel, and you, like, even though you're outsourcing most of the things, you're still putting your heart and effort and time and energy into it, you know? So like when some of your friends or family or whoever asks you like, hey, like, what do you do? And you're like, I do a YouTube channel. Oh, can you show me? Like, that feeling you get from being proud of something you show, and or like, you know, being kind of interested in yourself, I think it plays a very important part. You don't need to necessarily be like a die-hard fan to it, but I think it helps to be somewhat interested in. Now, talking in terms of the niches, you said correct, health, wealth, relationships, any sub-niche of that works. Look, it starts first by figuring out what kind of content do you want to produce, because there are two types of content. There's content aiming for search, so search-based traffic, or there's content aiming for browse. It's not like if you go for one, you're not going to get the other. There's going to be a mix, but like mostly, right? When you are aiming to produce content for search, you are producing kind of like how-to videos, right? Whatever people search for. So, that's the first thing to ask yourself. Do you want to produce content that people click because they have an inherent interest in it? Or do you want to produce content that people click because they have a problem and they're looking for a solution? At this point in my YouTube journey, I feel that for a person who wants to get in, it is somewhat easier to get and create content that solves a specific problem. Do you know a channel, Howcast?
No.
Howcast, they've been 9 or 10 years on YouTube. And they're so funny. Their most viewed video is like how to undo a bra or something. It's just so funny. But like they do the how to, but they're doing it with a little bit of a comedy as well. But yeah, that's the first thing you want to ask yourself. Is it a how-to tutorial type fixing a problem? Because that will define your value. You know, if you're doing browse, aka Mr. Beast, the value is entertainment. Right? People go to YouTube to get entertained, to get distracted from their life. If you're doing content how-to search, then your value is in the solution. You know, so that's the first thing you want to do. I think for anyone starting, it's easier to go for the problem-solving content because it's very direct. It's like, okay, here's the problem, here's the solution, and you don't need to even come up with the solution yourself because there's already existing content pretty much for anything, you know? NFT comes around, 1 week later, there's a bunch of terms like how to buy your first NFT, and there's a bunch of videos. And you don't need to like invent the wheel. You just take the content, remake it, make it different, better, make it the same, and you have a fair chance of ranking it as long as the competition and the search volume align, right? So
yeah, search volume's high, competition low.
Exactly, but you know, obviously this is a free market, so it always balances it out. So like keywords that have a high volume, but they're also going to get high competition, that's going to fill up. Like the market is going to basically balance it out.
There's no copyright on quotes or motivational things. Then you have an AI generating images that represent, or it's like, what does an AI think this quote represents? Like living life to the fullest, or getting out of your comfort zone, things like that.
Yeah.
And so you might have, because I was trying to think of things where it's like you can use the AI as your visual medium to tell the story, but the content is still the words that's being said.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be about the AI. It's just the AI is there to add that extra oomph. You know?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then I don't need to outsource that. I can do that all myself. I can look up the quotes. I can get the images off of Midjourney or DALL-E.
Yeah.
I can do the voiceover myself.
I'm looking at you. You have there's a spark in your eye when you talk about these things, you know? So go for it. I mean, who is stopping you? Like, don't think about making 100 videos, making this one video at a time. You have an idea, right? Put it together. Make a video, see how you like it, how much time it takes you, how it turns out, what are going to be the bottlenecks. You're going to understand, you're going to learn so much from it, but just like going down, not overthinking it, because it's so hard, you know, paralysis by analysis, right? It's so easy to overthink and get stuck and not do anything and just always like research. I always say, just like you have an idea, you think it's a great thing. That's what I always did. I found something exciting, just boom, just dive straight into it, head down, you know? Chances that you're gonna pursue that are not 100%. It might happen, it might not, but you're gonna learn something, and then like you just go down that rabbit hole of, okay, I did this, but then you find something else, and
you start tweaking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that, because like part of me wants to have everything planned out from the beginning and think of like the whole process. The other part of me from a marketing perspective also understands of like, just get the audience. You just get the attention first. You can figure out a way to monetize the attention later.
Number one priority is growth, audience, 100%.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you said, you want to have everything thought out. You want to kind of think about, like, you want to have some sort of a game plan for how you are going to not monetize, but like, for example, Charisma on Command. They offer content that solves a problem, how to be more charismatic. Their audience is all about that. And they offer a solution to the problem that people have, which is Charisma University. You know, so that's the same thing. Maybe if you are doing some kind of AI content, maybe you can have how to master specific software or how to create images with AI, or it's like something related to that.
The one that's more interesting is to do the AI with some type of like motivation quotes, or even like a history thing, because like we're talking about just like entertainment, like that's what I would watch. But the other part of my brain that's like more business focused is like you can do the same thing with like a finance channel. So there's a couple of guys I watch for finance of just what's going on with the markets, how like all the freaking craziness with inflation and interest rates over here. And I'm like, you know what, you could probably do the same thing. You could probably have a video that's similar to that, but you have an AI that's like, you know, how does it interpret what a low interest rate looks like or something? And it's like maybe like this doom and gloom background, but not as interesting, right? But that's the one that has like crazy high CPMs, there's a lot of affiliate opportunities. So
don't run after the CPM. That's a mistake I did as well. Like if you go into something because there is more money in it, you are most likely going to fail. It's like when you're a kid, you don't think about the money. When you're a kid, you just like, I was into fingerboards, so I went crazy into fingerboards. I was into cracking a game on Facebook. I didn't think about it. I just went all into it. So that's the same thing here. Like if you haven't, go after the interest, don't go after the money, because when you go after the interest, the money will follow. If you go after the money, then you burn out. You should just get down, make the first video, good, bad, it doesn't matter. Just do it and send it to me.
In like that kind of motivational or like quote space, if you start getting into like Alan Watts and like philosophy, you can start getting into like almost like that spiritual stuff where it's like the consciousness and things like that, which would be wild if you started typing that into an AI.
Imagine.
It would interpret those things, right?
Imagine.
Like near-death experience stories, but then you have like an AI interpret like what they're seeing and what they're saying.
Oh my goodness. That's,
you know, like shit.
That's really cool. Cause you know, like I'm into yoga, like a little bit into spirituality as well. And you know, I did psychedelics as well, like a couple of times in my life. So I've experienced.
It's on my list, man. I can't freaking wait.
Yeah, man.
I walked on DMT and just I want to know what happens. I want to see.
Man, it's.
Dude, and even that, if you can do trip reports. It's like people's trip reports.
Yo, I saw someone do trip reports. I don't know how, but YouTube freaking knows what to recommend me. Man, it knows so well. I was just on my couch chilling one evening, and then I'm scrolling for YouTube, and it's like what this like the psychedelic feels like, and I click, and the person basically reports everything he felt, and like, you know, usually, okay, you've never done it, but like I've done, and usually it's like people say, oh, I cannot describe how it feels, and that's how I feel as well. But he did such a good job, and it goes so deep. It's like, I usually end at like, okay, ego dissolution, you become one, and then like try it yourself. I can't go further than that. But like that guy, yeah, that's a great idea, man. AI trip reports, crazy.
Because like I've gone through periods where like just to go to sleep, like I'll just have like Alan Watts. It's close, I think, to like a modern day philosopher, like you know, like old like Socrates and Plato guys that we have like today. Because I was like, what would be cool visually to go along with, you know, something like if you have AI as a thing that can just kind of, I don't do Photoshop or anything like that, and you can just type in words and then AI can spit it out.
Yeah.
Like I think, yeah, all this kind of like, you know, near-death experience, trip reports, philosophy, you know, things talking about just like life and consciousness.
I think you're onto something here, man. I think you're really onto something here. Just don't procrastinate. Like get started and get perfect later.